guys, what's up? Dave with Nankin Hobby, and today we're going to be doing something a little different, something a little fun. We are going to build something old and make it new, or update it, I should say. So what we have here is an old Tamiya Wild One. It's dusty, it's dirty, it's been sitting around. And I'm going to show you some of the old school technology that's on this that used to be the popular thing on all the old Tamiya vehicles and all other vehicles, really. And we are going to build up a new Tamiya, or a Tamiya with new technology, really. So we're going to be building the Tamiya Blitzer Beetle. So before we jump into that, I'm actually going to show you what life used to be like before waterproof electronics, before 2.4 gigahertz, all that new technology. So what we have here, let's show you. Look at that. This is a mechanical speed control. These things sucked. Back in the day, that's all we had. So if you look at this, would you just look at it? You have little metal conductors, essentially, little metal, right up in here. And you would have a servo with an arm that would attach to here. And this servo would control this, which would allow it to move back and forth. And these metal parts, you can kind of see, these metal parts, they would get dirty. You would lose connection. You'd have to clean them. You'd get dirt stuck in there. You'd get sand stuck in there. Throttle would stick wide open. That was one of many problems. So not only that, but you would have extra wires, and you would have to have them plugged into a resistor. That's what these wires are for. So now I'll show you what it looks like in a vehicle. So like I said, this is an old Tamiya Wild One. Picked it up not that long ago. It's just cool nostalgia. So let's pull the body off. This is the mechanical speed control. You'll see the arm that's attached to the servo. And then we follow these wires back. Look at all that dirt and dust. And this is the resistor that you would have plugged in. And normally these would get pretty hot. It could be pretty sketchy. And sometimes the little Tamiya plug, this guy right here, would get hot too and sometimes melt. So that was always fun. And then, so that is the speed control, the mechanical speed control. Now moving on to the controller, you would have this long, super long antenna. I mean, it just keeps going and going. And then that long antenna would be attached to something like this. This is a transmitter. They obviously weren't all like this, but this was pretty popular back then as well. It's just a stick. It'll only go up and down on one side, won't go left to right like a regular airplane radio would. And on the other one, it'll go left to right. So, what makes this suck? I probably shouldn't even say suck. It is just old technology. But these guys used to take 8 batteries, 8 AA batteries. Now most radios take 4, so that's great. But what's another great thing about upgrading new technology is, in the past, you would have to use these little crystals. Look at that. These will be plugged into the receiver, and it had to match the same frequency that is on your radio. So right on the back, you'll see it says 75 megahertz. So if you do not have a 75 megahertz crystal, then this thing just won't work. So thankfully, all that goes together. And now, if Futaba radios look like this. This is the new Futaba, well, a Futaba 4PM. It's not the newest radio that they have out right now. They have the 7PX, but the 4PM, it's a great radio, and it only takes 3 AA batteries. Or you can run it on a Life battery or a LiPo battery. It's great technology. Great technology. And better yet, look at this. This is the antenna right here. This little nubbin is the antenna. This is the antenna on the other controller. Yep. Back then, that's what we had to work with. And normally you'd have a little flag that had your frequency on there. So if you were racing, people wouldn't be like, oh, do you have the same frequency? Do you have a different frequency? Everybody would know. You could battle it out. Sword fight on the driver's stand. So, what are we going to do with Tamiya stuff? What we are going to do is, I'm going to put this back on the bench for later, because what we are going to do is build up this repop of the Tamiya Blitzer Beetle. Now, I'm sure most of you are going, well, of course it's got new technology. It comes with a Hobbywing ESC. What is an ESC? It's an electronic speed control. No longer do they have mechanical speed controls. They've been out for a while. It's got a brushed motor. It's a repop. So it just comes with some newer stuff. But we're going to take it one step further. And what is newer than brushed electronics? That's right. Brushless. We're going to put this Hobbywing system in this Tamiya Blitzer Beetle. And I'm sure most of you Tamiya purists are going to be like, why? That's a terrible idea. It's a 3300 kV combo. This thing is going to rip. Hopefully more than just the gears. Because if you don't know, Tamiya comes with plastic gears. At least these Tamiyas do. Tamiya does also produce more expensive kits, but these cheap kits can be fun to run around. Even being brushed, they're a ton of fun. But we're going to put a brushless to it and take it to the skate park. So I guess without further ado, let's open up this box and jump right into starting to build this thing and see what we can do with it. So one thing we are doing to get this thing ready for brushless power is the old Tamiya stuff used to use bushings, little white dudes. We are going to be using bearings in them. You can kind of see. Pretty much 90% of these bearings are 5x11. So you can get those. I mean, Traxxas sells them. Like the most common size. So basically what I got was the Jim's bearings. Ooh, Jim's bearings. Bearing kit actually for a 2-wheel drive Traxxas vehicle, because 90% of them are 5x11s. So it gets you a little bit extra. You don't necessarily need all that, but for 20 bucks, I mean, you get you all the bearings you could ever really. Gets you plenty of bearings. I'll say that. So yeah, on to the next upgrade. All right, so now we have the Blitzer Beetle done, at least the chassis anyways. I reconfigured a little bit up in here. I mean, placement is a little bit different than what stock would call for. We got the Hobbywing ESC over here, which allows you to run a shorty pack. But since we're only doing 2S with this 3300 kV, it's still going to be pretty quick. There's really no adjustment in the motor mount, so you just using the stock pinion, which, I mean, it's fine. The big thing that I really wasn't ready to tackle yet is the body. It's still stock. There's plenty of stickers to put on there. All these guys. It's just time consuming. So for this, since we're going to be beating on it, going to a couple different spots, I'm actually going to just run the body that is off my drift car. It's already got a little detailed interior. This is the Capra interior that I made fit, and then it's got a little nitrous bottle in there. But we are going to put this body on, and we're going to take it out and go see how good she rips. So, check it out. So that was a ton of fun. This 3300 kV motor made this Tamiya thing go pretty quick for what it was. Only ran it on 2S. The only real damage was actually pretty simple. Not even much. The pivot ball just came right out of the servo saver. So I should be able to run that back through and put a nut on the other end. So pretty minimal damage, actually, considering it went to the skate park. It survived. So, if you like this video, or any of our other videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video specifically, hit that like button. And be sure to comment. Tell us if you think we should put more power to it, or what you think we should do next. And I will catch you guys on the next one.